Hi Earthling, I'm Trice. Have you been trying to manifest something and it's just not coming? Well, fear not, my darling. I have been there too. When I was manifesting my beautiful baby girl, I wanted her so damn bad, I unconsciously was blocking the law of attraction from working. And when I uncovered these three major blocks, she came at the speed of light. So whether you're manifesting a baby, a dream husband, a house, or $1 million, it matters not. Remove these blocks and your manifestation will come faster than you can say, thank you. Usually when we're trying to manifest things and it's not working, it's because we want our manifestation so bad. Do you hear the desperation in my voice? And this is how I felt when I wanted my baby girl. I was wishing that I wanted something else. I'm like, I wish I wanted a Ferrari. At least I could figure out how to make enough money to get that. But a baby, I felt like, was the one thing that you couldn't buy. And my only way to bring my dream to life was by the power of manifesting. Now, I had been a manifester for a long time. But because I was so desperate in my desire, I got tripped up. And the first one is I wasn't willing to surrender. And what that means is I wanted to do it my way. I wanted to have a baby naturally. I didn't want to have to see any fertility doctors. And even though I had acquiesced and said, okay, I'll go see a fertility doctor, and they said, there's no medical reason why this is not working for you. So I was like, you see, universe, I don't need that. I can just do it the old-fashioned way. But I kept hearing IVF, IVF, IVF. And IVF is very expensive, not medically insured fertility treatment. I just couldn't get over the cost of it, and I was like, I don't really need it. Until about the umpteenth time, this message came to me, and my husband said, what would you rather have at the end of your life? $50,000 more, or to say that you tried everything for your baby? And that message I finally was able to hear and let me surrender to the path of the universe. And she came. I got the baby on the very first IVF try, which is less than a 30% chance. So this is a very tricky thing. How the heck are you supposed to know if you're forcing your will and when to surrender to the universe? One way is that you will hear the message repeatedly. And if you are watching this video and you've been trying to manifest something, ask yourself how much time has passed. The universe knows no sense of time. That's a man-made thing. But if you've been trying to manifest something for years and years and it's not happening, it might be because you're forcing your will on it. And this is a very slippery thing because I thought, okay, I learned that lesson on my baby. And now I'm manifesting making $1 million a year income stream. And I have a guilty pleasure of loving to talk about money and finance. When I was asking for guidance on my manifestation, the universe said, surrender, surrender. And I'm like, I totally am surrendering. And then I realized, no, I wasn't. My viewers like hearing about law of attraction. So go in that direction. But I didn't want to surrender because I was like, well, I don't know how it's going to line up. I couldn't connect the dots. And I remembered that is not my job. The universe will connect the dots. When the journey is at the end and you're looking back, you'll be able to connect the dots. But you have to trust that it will all line up. There's that famous Steve Jobs quote that you couldn't connect the dots going forward, but looking back, your soul already knew how to get there. All that's to say, fear will arise when you surrender because your mind will not know how the heck this is going to line up. But free yourself from that. If you are having fun and you are feeling the joy of the journey, which I totally am, that means it will line up and you're on the right path. And with this surrender part, since I'm such an alpha girl, I need something to hold my pretty hat onto. And so when I feel like I'm getting worked up and being like, how is this going to work out? I say, surrender, Trice, surrender. As a mantra in my head, surrender. Everything always works out for me. Everything always works out for me. And can you see vibrationally? how because I'm not trying so hard, things will come more with ease. The same thing will happen for you too. Second thing, that if your manifestation is not coming true, you might not believe that it's possible. And let me tell you a little story. When I was manifesting my baby girl, all of a sudden I took a pregnancy test and I was like, bam, I'm pregnant. And the first words out of my mouth were, I never thought this was possible. I told my son, I told my husband, and yes, a little gross, but I was so thrilled. I kept the little stick. A couple days pass, and I'm looking at the stick and I'm like, you know, actually I think there's 2 lines for pregnant, not 1, 2. Lo and behold, I read the test wrong, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. I realized that I did not believe that it was possible. This coupled with the evidence from the fertility doctors that this was an unexplained infertility, no medical reason existed, I knew from being a Mary manifester before that it was my belief. Now, how do you switch your belief from totally not believing to totally believing? Is what you do is you practice your believing vibration on something else. So for me, I didn't think about the baby. I just thought about practicing my believing manifestation. Like, I believe I'm going to have a great night's sleep tonight. My kids are going to school in the morning. It can be super small. I believe that I'm going to have lunch tomorrow. Whatever it is, and then you don't just say the words to yourself, but you feel the truth of that. I believe that when I get up in the morning, I am going to have eggs and grits. Whatever it is. And you start building this belief vibration. Then, and it will happen, when you know those days when you feel like you're floating on air and nothing can fail. And when I was on that high-flying kite, as Abram Hicks says, I would sprinkle in the belief of my baby, because in those moments I could really believe it. But anytime fear crept in, I would go general. I believe that the earth is round. You get the point. And this works. I got my baby because this works. So anytime I got scared, I went super general. And anytime I was super inspired and happy, I went right for her heart. And this is the exact same thing if you have a dream house. You can talk to your house and how beautiful the rooms are and how high the ceilings are and how bright the light is. Whatever it is, everything has an energy, a vibration, a spirit, a soul. And the third major block is I was not letting go. Now, letting go is very different than surrender. When you're not surrendering, you are trying to impose your way of doing things on the universe. Alpha Trice over here was saying, I am going to get this baby my way. That's not surrendering. As opposed to letting go, and guys, this is going to be pretty freaking scary, is you have to let go of your manifestation. Like for me, I had to let go of my baby. It was hard, but I finally got to a place where I said, baby girl, even if you never come to earth, I am so happy to have you in my heart, because I had to let her choose. And this is the exact same thing no matter what you're manifesting. You see, the universe only knows energy. So like a baby is a person, so it's a little bit easier. But if I was like, damn you, come on over here. We need to get here. I need to give you some snuggles. Do you see the desperation of that energy? It's going to make the baby energy run right away from me. And the same is true if you're manifesting money. Let's say you're manifesting $1 million like me. And if I have this desperate energy of where's my $1 million, why isn't it coming to me? Or where's my $100 to pay my rent? Do you see that same desperation of energy? It will not come to you. Now the freaky part is our human mind thinks if we let go, that means we're giving up on what we want. We're saying, yep, I'm not good enough, I'm not gonna get it, so I'm gonna let go of it. That's not how the universe works. What you're giving up is the desperate energy. What you're giving up is not being whole. No manifestation can fulfill you. You need to be fulfilled in order for the manifestations to come. So this is what I recommend to practice letting go. I try to do it in everyday life, like moving my yoga mat. I've mentioned that before. But one thing that really helped me with the baby, because my head was full of so much fear. And the more you want something, the more the fear of not having it can linger in your head. So all you have to do is grab your pen and start writing. Write all your fears out. Just write everything that you feel like you'll never get on the paper. And then you take it, you read it, and you rip it up, and you let it go. And I promise, try that for a couple days. Try that when that thought is rolling around in a circle like a marble, and see if it doesn't clear your head. And doing it over and over will build the belief in you, and soon you will be an expert at letting go. Do you want more magic in your life? If so, I invite you to subscribe. Have you ever heard of a pendulum? A pendulum is just energy in motion. For example, when you start hearing about politics, all of a sudden your heart feathers up and you feel a lot of energy. That's because you're tapping into that political pendulum. And so the magic flows here is that when you hit that subscribe bell, you tap into the energy of all the souls who are manifesting their dreams. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, sprinkle some love on that like button for me. And until next time, my darling earthling, ciao!